You know, if I think about Saturn in Aquarius, two things came to my mind. One thing is the rise of Hitler, of course, you know, and this has to fascism and so on. And the other thing,
in Uranus in Taurus, also Hitler.
Do more with Saturn in Aquarius.
Yeah, but also,
and,
it's like
yeah, of course. And the other thing that came to my mind was Martin Luther King. I have a dream. You know, this is Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius. We will have from the one side governments to depress people, and you know, and from the other side, exactly what you said. You know, people rebellion. Yeah, and to try to make something new. Yeah. This is exactly what will happen the next, I think, 2 to 3 years. You know, and we have from 21 and the square from Saturn to Uranus. You know, it's a difficult, very difficult aspect, and this cycle is very important.
This is a collision between people and authorities. This is the collision between finding alternatives and staying on the traditional way. This is the collision between staying in the urban lifestyle, building buildings, real estate, to something that is more justice socially or based on groups, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I also see very much problems with food.
Of course. Yeah, of course. But let me say one thing more. You know, we have all these cycles, but I have one other index. I told you the last time we spoke about it, about the Barbeau cyclic index. He was an astrologer. He made an index, you know, and he this index shows when in the world is difficult time and when not. You know, we are from around 2019 until 2023. This is the most difficult time for the world. You know.
Yeah. It definitely. We all can see this.
Yeah.
We suggested to people during 2019, in the end of this piggy year, according to the Chinese astrology, don't continue to inflate your bubble of loans, of other things, and start to think for the day or after the cliff. And it was very hard for people to stop the train where is so much inertia. Now we are having the symbolism that people are locked down, but can go only for food supply and pharmaceutical.
Yes.
When we had the conversation in, when was it? Around January 2018, February. Yeah, we spoke about what will happen after Pluto Saturn, and we compared it to the First World War and the Second World War, and we looked for countries with planet in the 22 degrees.
22, yes.
And the United States has Neptune in 22 degrees. And Neptune of the United States is in Virgo, very much related to health and health crisis option to do. So this Saturn Pluto interacted with the Neptune of the US, that we are already very much understanding what it's referring, but is also related to supply of food, not just of pharmaceutical, because it's in Virgo. So I don't want to speak only on the United States, but it's something also in the collective, and we are just finishing North Node in Cancer. We need to see how we are reconnecting with the Earth in a more harmonious way, and not to base on capitalistic chain of supply, food supply, to be.
You asked me before about what I think. Will the people be in 2, 3, 4 years? You know, this is it. Values will change. You know, this is it.
What will change? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Values. The values from people. You know, for me, it will be more important to talk to a friend and to be, or to have the basic needs, and not to be rich and to have a lot of money and to be greedy and don't talk to you and to be egoistic. And this is all things that will change in the next years. And you know, we will evaluate and rethink that we are humans and we are all same, you know.
But you know, when you say this, and I say this too, things are not happening alone. People will not awake one day and say, oh,
No.
all what I need is people surrounding me and I sell all my Ferraris. This is always related to triggers event that will bring us to this point. What would you assume? Use your imagination. What would you assume to be a sort of an example scenario that will bring people to reappreciate social connection and basic needs that we will, as now this lockdown is helping people understanding that.
Yeah.
I have money or not, I can buy from the supermarket. But what do you think could be a scenario?
I don't know. I never thought about it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
So I think about
have you thought? Yeah.
I thought I very much go away with my mind. Definitely recession. Definitely reset.
Yeah, of course.
That people will lose their money and suddenly will realize that all what they had is value other things. And when people will be on the same place, on the same level, on the same time, it's doing what it's doing, and the humbling process of people become more human.
Yeah, this, you know, I see, as you said before, that we will have problems with food, agriculture, the next years, and this is a thing. If we have inflation, and to buy apples, you need 10, 20 euros to buy apples or bread or something, like, you know, then people will understand, oh, what is going on?
I can take it for free. I can just plant and have it for free. Why should I slave myself?
This is something what people should do. They should have a small piece of land, you know, and to grow something there. To grow.
Start to trade with each other. I give you lemon, you give me onions or something.
The old way, yes.
Yeah. And
this
also
is very important.
To value. Because
and big problems will have big cities. They will have a big problems, big cities. This is good for Greece because, you know, you were there. We have the villages here, and it's okay. Yeah.
What do you? Sorry, you spoke about the villages. What?
Yeah, I said the big cities will have a lot of problems in the near future. If you have a village like you were in Greece, and you know where my village is and so on. If you have a village, it's very good, because I think the people there will live more better than,
and support each other, and having a more quality in air and water and the basic needs, even for children to play.
And you said before that okay, we will have another event, the change of the nodes this year
in May 5th.
Yeah, and this is very important too, because I see from 2017-18, you know, the weather has changed, and it has to do with us with solar system center. Because this is the solar system center. It's the most time in the sun. Sometimes, like this time, this years we live, the center of the solar system, because of the planets and so on, it's going outside of the sun. And this is very important because this has influence to the sun itself, to the energy that sun is giving to us, and this has to do with sun's activity will minimize for the next years, and this will impact very much the agriculture, food, and so on, and the weather.
They become cold. You know, they become cooler.
Yeah, it will be much cooler. Everybody is talking about the warm up, and but the opposite will happen. We will go to a mini ice age in two phases until around 30, and then until around 50, 2050.
2030 and 2050.
Yeah, two phases, and this is very important. And this is something else that will happen. A lot of people will migrate, not because of wars, because of weather change.
Yeah, because
and
of
food. Yes, and
as
this
it was
is
in the Bible, as it was in other times in the history.
Yeah, and this is very important people to understand what we are. If people, I think it's a time. It's a difficult time that we are going and passing through the last years. All people, but it's a time where the people we have the power to understand that I'm from Greece. I'm white. I have no different needs with you or with another people from Africa who is black, or from a Chinaman, or from a man who lives in USA. We are all humans, and this is what we must to understand.
We must do. This is exactly indicated that from this May, the South Node will move to Sagittarius. Sagittarius is speaking about all the prejudging, how we are judging and stigmatizing each one, this race. And we will need to know the difference. We will need to connect and to communicate differently.
And if you ask yourself, what are your needs? It's important for you if the rights or the lefts are in power. No, it makes no difference for you. You as an individual, what do you need? You need something to eat, to have something to eat. Your freedom to be with people. We don't need governments to have all this. But this is a.
This is the awakening. I had a very interesting talk those days with another astrologer friend, and actually we are always projecting out. We are the citizen. We are under the law. Be submissive. What the police, what the government will tell you to do, and this is just because of ignorance of people. It's like people will arrive to realization, and this is what I spoke in the beginning of the conversation: taking control on ourselves and transforming it. Because if we understand, we don't need someone to tell us what to do. You don't need someone to tell you respect your father and mother or don't steal. You know that it's bad, and you have your inner control. Even animal knows what's bad.
Yeah.
Also, Saturn Pluto has to see with a fear from being punished, because the government and the Pluto fear. This is the fear of people from being punished, from being submitted, from losing. People have
losing, yes.
Once people will have the inner authority of not being afraid, doing the change, from taking the control in my hand to do the right thing that is good for myself, and to progress in life, and encourage other people doing the same. This will be a shift that we really want to move into. Want to do a little break with this dog? It's like, and it's a village, so this is a way to territorize. We also can indicate that it must to be magnetic field shifts, because Uranus is in Taurus. And Taurus is related to our Earth. And Uranus is bringing and shifting the magnetic fields. So this is the timing.
Maybe, I don't know.
And we are still inside of a phase that until 2026, we are going to see a lot of Earth phenomenon.
Of course.
And it's also supported by the astronomical explanation that you are giving, the shift of temperature and the supply chain.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of the food suppliers are part of the capitalistic system that we are just finishing by in May 2020, we are finishing this cycle of Capricorn South Node.
Yeah.
The end of something of the behavior of the capitalistic. And we needed to think from time before how to be also safe.
You know, you said about the capitalistic system and about the South Node. You know, South Node, about 18 years, it comes to the same place and so on and so on. This is why I'm so focused on the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, because this conjunction is talking about this shift in the capitalistic system, that we are going to change something, that it will not be the capitalistic system anymore. You know, this is because I'm so obsessed with this conjunction.
But yeah, but it's also true because they will meet in Aquarius, and Aquarius,
yeah,
Jupiter is expansive and Saturn is shrinking the energy. So both this mixture together in Aquarius is doing a revolution, because Uranus and Aquarius are speaking about a revolution, that something is shifting completely, that what was tall become low and what was fat become thin. And it's a battle, because there are very big themes that we're going to, you know, we are not expecting that governments will lose. Now there are
no.
Well, even with the coronavirus, you are listening to governments, how they are speaking. Still, in some countries, they are still in much more strength. But, you know, they are out of control against the invisible enemy of the coronavirus. So it's a little bit of an example how even government losing control on situation that is not a war, is not someone to attack. The only way they can do is to keep people safe. And this is, of course, is generating fear, because people also are having their own fear of surviving and how I'm going to build myself and how I'm going to move my life forward.
What do you think about the coronavirus, and how long do you think it will be here?
This is the question that a lot of people are asking now, because we are speaking in astrology. I'm not a psychic, but we are speaking about cycles that, if we understand the consequences the coronavirus brought to our world, this is what we needed to get in such energies that we are having. If it won't be coronavirus, it's definitely
it will be something else.
Like, we could not escape from this shift. Something should shut off the people, something should shut off the economy, something should show a bigger control than any government on ourselves, and we needed to experience this. So coronavirus, in a very elegant way of the universe inventing solution, we found if you just can move the speaker from your coat, because it's always touching. Yeah, it's doing.
Okay.
So this will be a sort of just a manifestation of the theme. When people will realize, okay, I feel that it's going to be a relief with all the retrogression that we are going to get from starting in the end of April. Pluto will start the retrograde from Capricorn. So from the retrograde timing, and next Venus is coming, and Saturn also is going to start the retrograde. It will be a pausa. It will be a stop of the, like a try to go back to normality. So this influence also offers that maybe it will be a sort of a control on the coronavirus, but we understand that planets are going to come back to this exact position where they are now. So I see another phase of the coronavirus, or another another big event.
Yeah, could be
escalation of what we are starting to worry now. And those worries is not just to ignore. A lot of people telling you, don't be upset, you should be upset sometimes. You should be afraid, because those emotions are leading you to action. If you will be always calm under marijuana, all fine, you will not move your ass to another place. the life wants to move us now. And if you are ignoring bad relationship, and now with Venus retrograde in Gemini, you're going to explode this year. A lot of this new discussion will come until it should break. A lot of triggers are going to build up in the coming months of this retrogression to take us out of the comfort, because Saturn and Pluto will come back to this exact position they are now. So in the coronavirus term, I see a release into October, because in October already Saturn is stopping the retrograde, and then
you know what I see? I see a release too in the next months. We have April, May, June, July, August maximum, but after that we have Mars in Aries, and Mars will go back and
6 months in Aries.
He makes a square to all the eclipses we had in Capricorn.